Chairman of the Body of Benchers. I am grateful to Almighty God who has graciously made this happy day a reality. On behalf of the Body of Benchers and the entire legal profession, I applaud and celebrate our brand new wigs, whose success today is a testimony of their determination, academic excellence, and good character. You have gone through the period of purification and now, pure as gold, I pray that God, who has brought you thus far, will make your journey in the legal profession fruitful and successful. I extend my congratulations to the Council of Legal Education under the chairmanship of Chief Emeka Ngige, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, for its posture, for its positive policy directives and quest to ensure quality legal education in Nigeria. In the same vein, I also applaud the entire faculty of the Nigerian Law School under the able leadership of the Director General, Professor Isa Hayetu Chiroma, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, for their dedication over the years towards inculcating practical knowledge and molding fit and proper candidates for call to the bar. To the proud parents and guardians, I congratulate you all. Your efforts have not been in vain, as today marks a climax in your struggles towards providing sound education for your children and wards. I sincerely share in your joy today and urge you to continue to show your support and pray for the new wigs to succeed. I must sincerely recognize the individual and collective role members of the Body of Benchers play in upholding the ethics and ethos of our profession. The body will continue to play this very important role as the body with the highest distinction within the legal profession. There are so many opportunities available within the profession. Therefore, make use wisely of every opportunity you have. Always remember all you were taught and put same into practice. The profession you now belong to is the most noble of all, a profession where everybody is somebody. In fact, from today you are VIPs. You must therefore be seen as living above board. The expectations on you are much. You must not disappoint all those who look up to you. It is your free will, and so I presume, to belong to this noble profession. Therefore, you must always abide by the rules and regulations guiding the profession. You have been called to the bar in a very ugly, are all operating at the same time and in the same space. The good to the extent that the Supreme Court now has the full complement of justices required to man the court. The good to the extent that the welfare of judicial officers is being seriously taken care of, and the Body of Benchers alongside other relevant bodies in championing the process. I have read in the papers about the increased funding of the Judiciary, which is a positive development. I hope it will be backed by adequate release of funds as and when due. It is a bad period in the sense that the Judiciary is being bashed and public confidence in the legal system is dwindling, occasioned by incessant conflicting judgments by our courts and flagrant indiscipline amongst lawyers. In order to address the vexed issue of conflicting judgments, the Body of Benchers has constituted a committee made up of ranking members of the profession to come up with the best possible ways of addressing the concerns. When the committee completes its assignment and presents its report to the Body of Benchers, it will, upon consideration and approval, be forwarded to the relevant bodies for implementation. To our newly admitted colleagues, it is appropriate for me to remind you of some salient truths about the profession that you have just entered. The noblest and only learned profession of law is known for its sanctity, integrity, honesty, objectivity, and respect for the rule of law. I therefore implore you as learned friends to demonstrate the highest level of professional ethics and decorum wherever you find yourself, and steadfastly preserve the honor and dignity of the profession. Duty of counsel. Your role as lawyers and input in ensuring that this noble legal profession lives true to its reputation cannot be overemphasized. My advice to you is that you have joined this honorable profession. One would expect you to behave with honor and dignity at all times. You have all been adjudged to be fit and proper persons to be admitted to the bar, and you must show this to be true in your dealings with colleagues, clients, and the courts. I urge you to endeavor to always adhere to the rules of professional conduct for legal practitioners 2023, which is a holistic guide to all legal practitioners. For the sake of emphasis, permit me to briefly highlight some pertinent rules you must adhere to. A, honesty stroke accountability. Honesty, as the saying goes, is the best policy. A lawyer must be honest in his or her affairs, especially when it relates to advising clients and dealing with clients' money. Rule 23 sub 2 of the Rules of Professional Conduct for Legal Practitioners 2023 states, quote, where a lawyer collects money for his client or is in a position to deliver property on behalf of his client, he shall promptly report and account for it, and shall not mix such money or property with or use it as his own, unquote. This is a very vital provision and is one of the major cases filed before the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee. B, relations with the courts. Rule 30 of the Rules of Professional Conduct Supra states that, quote, a lawyer is an officer of the court, and accordingly, he shall not do any act or conduct himself in any manner that may obstruct, delay, or adversely affect the administration of justice, unquote. The rules prohibit a lawyer from misleading a court. In fact, the rules encourage a lawyer to disclose to the court any legal authority in the jurisdiction known to him to be directly adverse to the position of his client, and which is not disclosed by the opposing lawyer. C, dress code. Your noble appearance today is not merely ceremonial or just for taking pictures, but has become part of your life as lawyers, as you very well know. Rule 45, sub 1 of the Rules of Professional Conduct states, quote, except with the permission of the court, a lawyer appearing before a high court, the Court of Appeal, or the Supreme Court shall do so in his robes, and of course, the wig. Instances of young lawyers not adhering to the prescribed dress code is becoming an issue of concern, and I encourage you to strive to change the narrative. D, media trial. One of the issues plaguing our dear profession in recent times is the contentious and polarizing spectacle of media trial. The negative resultant effect of media trial is prejudgment, which can erode the foundational pillar of an individual's right to a fair and unbiased trial. Lawyers who engage in media trial sway public opinion and potentially skew the trajectory of justice, sometimes turning the people against the courts. It is unethical for lawyers to be addressing the media when fully robed, particularly after court sitting, as we have seen in recent times. For the avoidance of doubt, it is unethical for a lawyer to address the press on matters that are pending in court. Rule 33 of the Rules of Professional Conduct states, quote, a lawyer or law firm engaged in or associated with the prosecution or defense of a criminal matter or associated with a civil action shall not, while litigation is anticipated, or pending in the matter make or participate in making any extrajudicial statement that is calculated to prejudice, or interfere with, or is reasonably capable of prejudicing or interfering with the fair trial of the matter or the judgment or sentence thereon, unquote. It is therefore also unethical for lawyers to be discussing and arriving at conclusions on matters pending before the court. It is against the rules for lawyers to engage in advertisement, touting, and publicity. The rules of professional conduct for legal practitioners are unambiguous on these issues and are simply stated in the rules. Therefore, you are not to engage in soliciting professional employment by circulars, advertisements, through touts, or by personal communications or interviews. This does not stop you from using complimentary cards. Likewise, the idea of charge and bail lawyers is not acceptable and amounts to unethical conduct on the part of the lawyer. I urge you all to imbibe the provisions of the rules of professional conduct and adhere strictly thereto, bearing in mind that this august body which has admitted you to bar is also vested with the power to discipline you through its legal practitioners disciplinary committee whenever you are in default. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. Pupillage. My advice to you young lawyers is always not to rush off to start up legal practice on your own. I have always maintained that pupillage is a fulcrum of the development of our noble profession. And I will urge you to toe that line. Undergoing pupillage with a senior colleague will afford you the opportunity to master the practical and intricate nature of law practice, as your degrees may fail you at some point. Your time of pupillage will also serve as a learning avenue of the ethics of the legal profession, law office management, and concepts such as seniority in the bar. In the same vein, with pupillage is mentorship, which is a major contributing factor to all successful lawyers today. Mentoring cannot be overlooked in seeking a solution to the falling standards experienced today in our profession. The body of benchers, in its wisdom, commenced a mentoring program for all young lawyers, from you that are 0 year, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6, 7 years post-call. Let me use this medium to congratulate the members of the body of benchers and young lawyers who participated in this maiden edition of the program for the successes recorded. The second edition of the program is billed to commence sometime in June 2024, and I enjoy all you young newlyweds today to actively participate in the forthcoming mentoring program, amongst others. Remuneration. The welfare and remuneration of lawyers, especially young lawyers, should be critically looked into, especially in view of the current economic realities. Young lawyers in private practice are practically left to fend for themselves, as their take-home pay is so poor that it can barely take care of their basic needs. I would like to use this medium to call for an urgent upscale review of the remuneration of lawyers. I am aware that efforts are being made to improve on the welfare and remuneration of judicial officers. It is my humble opinion that this good initiative should also be extended to the bar. Once again, on behalf of the body of benchers, I congratulate all of you for bringing honor to yourselves, your relatives and friends, some of whom are gathered here to witness the ceremony of your call to bar. May the Almighty God guard and guide you to uphold the honor and dignity of the legal profession in Nigeria and throughout the world of jurisprudence. I cannot conclude this speech without acknowledging the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Olukayode Ariwola, GCON, for the leadership drive his Lordship is providing the judiciary. In the same manner, I commend the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Ofagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, for steps taken towards improving the justice sector in line with global best practices. Similarly, special thanks to the Honorable Minister of the FCT, Chief Nyesom Ezenwonwike, Senior CON, for heeding our clarion call on him to complete the road network around the body of benches complex. Chairman's charge to new legal practitioners.